Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome to the daily inspirational oracle reading. Perhaps you may have a problem or a concern or an issue where you are looking for a new perspective, a sign from the universe, or simply a new way of looking at it. Or you may simply allow your mind to settle within your heart and let whatever issues or concerns you may have surface from your subconscious mind and resonate with this reading. I am going to go over 3 cards, and then I am going to give you my collective intuition about this energy check-in reading. The first card I have for you is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Cyanide. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Cyanide's message to you is, if you are waiting to deserve happiness, it will elude you forever. The next card I have for you is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara, and she represents our throat chakra, and her message to you is, speak your truth. And the last card I have for you for this inspirational oracle reading today is from Jungle Beauty Goddess Afar. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Afar's message to you is, pretend you know what you are doing, and soon you will. So we're going to go over the first card, darling. The first card from, well, I don't know if it was the first card that I went over, but we're going to go over the card with Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara. And Jungle Beauty Goddess Sahara's message is, speak your truth. Now I have a question for you, darling. I have a question for you. Are you willing to make the necessary changes to make all of your dreams come true? Are you willing to make the sacrifices? Are you really, this is, you don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell anyone. You don't even have to tell your therapist. But I want you to look within your heart and just truly ask yourself if you're willing to pay the price for what it is you really want to accomplish in this lifetime. Are you really willing to pay that price? Are you really willing to do everything that's necessary to get what you want? I mean, Thanksgiving is coming up, and maybe you just decided you wanted to lose a few pounds. Or maybe you decided that you want to go back to school, but you know you're not going to have time to, spend with your friends or watch TV. Or maybe you decided you were going to really start that YouTube channel, but you know that if you start if you really commit yourself to it, then you're not going to have time to do all the other things that you're doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the question is, to speak your truth, you have to, well, of course, get in contact with your truth. You must really just be honest with yourself. And I want you to ask yourself, am I willing to pay the price for what it is I really want to accomplish in this life? Am I really willing to make those sacrifices? Mark Twain said that 20 years from now, you will more likely regret the things that you didn't do as opposed to the things that you have done. And let me see, what was his name? The guy who came up with the Apple, Steve Jobs. Do you know they said that every day he would look into the mirror and ask himself, if today was the if today was my last day on earth, would I do what I'm about to do now? So if you were to really look within your heart and speak your truth, just be honest with yourself. Are you willing to make the sacrifices? Are you willing to make the changes? Are you willing to look at what options are available to you that you can act on right now that would change your life? Not the things that you can't change, child, but the things that you can change. Are you willing to give it some elbow grease and some soul energy and really do everything that you need to do to be everything that you came here on this planet to be? So first of all, you have to get real with yourself. Sometimes I think people think that what's holding them back is, oh man, if I had money to go to college, I would go to college. Because you could probably, work and then take one class a semester at a community college or at the local university or whatever. If you really I mean, if you really think about what you think the problems are, that's going to be, it's, you know, you're going to see that, how do I say this? This is how I'm going to say this. If you are not a part of the problem, you are not a part of the solution. Does that make sense to you? If you're not a part of the problem, this means that you're also not a part of the solution. If you think that whatever is holding you back is bigger than you, then how can you possibly ever muster up the energy to change it? So if you really want to go to school, you would say, okay, I'm going to take one class a semester. I'm going to work and take one class. If you really want to let's say you want to make videos, you can just say, look, I am going to, when the kids go to bed at night, or I'm going to start off small. Maybe I'll just, read some things or whatever it is. When you really decide that you are the problem and the solution, this is when you would change your life. So the next card I have for you, darling, is pretend you know what you are doing, and soon you will. I think this actually applies to absolutely everything. I kid you not. When you really think about it, before you actually started, cooking, you pretended to cook, that you make those mud pies outside, and then you started making like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I'm just giving examples. We always pretend before we actually carry out the task, right? So I remember on my first day teaching, I was like in my early 30s, maybe like 31, 32. My very first day in front of the class, thank God my name is like super long. So I was writing my name on the board, and I was taking my time because I almost fainted. And the first few years, I always tell people that, I mean, honestly, I hate to admit this, but sometimes I feel like if I could, I would give every student who ever had me, for the first 3 to 5 years, they probably deserve their money back, because I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I was reading, I was going over the textbook. I was teaching the way I had been taught. And even though my students weren't getting the test scores that I wanted them to have, I couldn't see how to change the problem, because like I said, I was doing what was done to me. I was teaching the way I had been taught. So for the first 3 to 5 years, I didn't even have the information to bring about the change. I didn't know is it the students, is it me, is it the system, is it just the way it is, you know what I'm saying? So I was just in there doing my thing. And I remember once I went to one of my advisors, I don't know the best word for her, and I was telling her that I don't understand. I'm bringing them a textbook, and I'm a teacher, and I'm saying I don't understand why. Look at these multiple choice test scores, and this is what we went over. I don't understand why my students aren't doing better. And the first thing she said to me is, and this is after 3 to 5 years of teaching, she said, you don't teach chapters, you teach concepts. I was like, what? What do you mean teaching concepts? She said, well, so let's just say you're going to talk about Piaget. She said, you only talk about Piaget that day. Because if you look at a chapter, you will have Piaget and Kohlberg. You have all of these theorists in one chapter. And she said, so what you'll be doing is teaching an inch thick and a mile long. So you're going over a lot of material, but you're not giving them any type of information that's going to help this information stick. So if you're talking about one topic, you give like a hands-on assignment. You come up with a lot of activities. You come up with some videos. She said, you stay on that one topic and you make sure they understand that one thing. So when they have left your classroom that day, they have learned something. Okay, 3 to 5 years. It took me to figure it out. But I had to pretend, right? Because in the beginning, I mean, what makes you a teacher? The fact that you just, you got a degree and now you're in front of the class, and those are not the things that make you anything. I think that I love this card, Pretend you know what you're doing, and soon you will. You ask any new mother that. You have a baby, and it's like, boom, I have this baby. I don't really know what I'm doing, but before you know it, you actually know what you're doing. So, the first card, which is saying, speak your truth. Are you willing to pay the price for what it is you really want? Are you willing to make the sacrifices for what you say you want? Are you willing to look at the things that you can change, not the things you can't change? Are you willing to look at your life and say, yeah, I can't change A, B, C, D, and E, but dang on it, I can change G. And G is what I'm going to focus on, right? Because I bet you, if you tell me in the comment box below what your dream is, I bet you I can tell you, and tell me, this is what I want and this is why I can't get there. I promise you, I can tell you what's missing and what you need to do to get started. So, well, I don't want to get that started, but I'm just saying that a lot of times we make excuses for ourselves. So you're going to find your truth. You're going to make sure that it's something that you really want, that you're willing to make the sacrifices, and you're going to own that if you're not a part of the problem, then you're also not a part of the solution. How can you be, right? Because if once you say, okay, I decided to get myself into this situation, or I'm in this situation and this is what I'm going to change, then you're going to actually start to shift the universe. You're going to bring about changes for yourself. Look, I mean, remember, Harriet Tubman is my hero, okay? Frederick Douglass is one of my heroes. They have so many good excuses. So Beethoven, like I've told you guys before, he was, became deaf right when he wrote some of his greatest songs. So we all have some really good excuses for not accomplishing what it is we want to accomplish. So you're going to get honest with yourself and ask yourself, are you willing to make the necessary changes to get what it is you really want? Only you know that. I mean, sometimes when we get honest with ourselves, we realize, no. And then I want you to go ahead and pretend. All of the law of attraction books, if you read a lot of the spiritual books, they'll all tell you, act as if, act as if, act as if. So if you say, okay, I'm going to pretend that I am a straight A student. I am going to pretend that I am a writer. Whatever you start pretending, acting as if, you are bringing that reality into your consciousness. Because what they have found is that our imagination cannot tell the difference between a lie and the truth. And then I have one more card for you for this oracle inspirational reading today, which is, if you are waiting to deserve happiness, it will elude you forever. Now, in my opinion, happiness is like a butterfly. Have you ever tried to catch a butterfly before? And whenever you chase it, it just drifts away from you? Yep, that's happiness. Have you ever known people who seem to have everything, and all the money in the world, all the beauty, they're handsome, they're attractive, everything is going for them, but they are miserable? Do you know people like that? I believe that, let me just say this, happiness is like this. So let's just say there's a person who all their life they wanted a baby, right? And then when they get the baby, all they complain about is that the baby is crying all night, and they have to change diapers, and they don't have any sleep, right? And they can't wait for the baby to get older. And then when the baby get older, they start to complain about, oh, the baby now, I have to go to all of these meetings, or maybe the kid, is getting in trouble in school, or they have to, oh, I can't believe all the homework the teachers send home, and now I can't wait till this kid is older. I can't wait till this kid turns 18. So before you know it, this kid that you prayed to God for every single night, that you begged for, that you couldn't wait to have, now you just can't wait till it turns 18, and you never really enjoyed it. You understand what I'm saying? Oh my God, that's happiness. You gotta understand. I'm gonna tell you something about happiness. It is when you are living in the present moment, and you have taken, and you are reveling in your life, It is being in a snowstorm, child, and looking at how beautiful those snowflakes are, and sticking your tongue out to feel those snowflakes falling on your tongue. You hear me? I know this sounds a little bit cuckoo, but really happiness is when you have invested all of your heart, your soul, and your mind in the moment, and you have found peace in it. So if you pray for a baby and the baby is crying all night, you should, I'm just being honest, you should revel in that. You should hear me. You should thank God that, oh my God, I'm so happy that you're here, little baby, little wonderful being. I'm so happy that you're here. And all of the pampers, like, you should enjoy it, because that's it. See, do you understand? That's the happiness. That's the thing about happiness. It is living in the moment and enjoying what you have where you are. It really is that. One story before I go. After I finished my doctorate degree, I fell into a deep depression. One of the deepest depressions of my life. Why? Because I had this, when I was in school, I have 2 master's degrees, and I am such a nerd. I love books. I love learning. I always have. And there was just something about a cafe mocha, child, and a good thick book and a good research paper and all my little colored index cards when I'm putting together a research paper, and just something just about color coordinating each topic, right? And I know that I used to complain about, oh, I got this big paper, I got a 30-page paper due tomorrow. My entire life was spent around, going to school and going to the library and, taking exams and everything about my day. And I remember thinking, oh, I can't wait until I finish school. I can't wait until I graduate, right? When I graduated, for about 1.5 years, I was depressed. I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know I was so happy. See? So happiness to me is also about having a meaningful and rich goal. Something in your life that really challenges you. Something that make you, that where you're sleepy, you're exhausted, and you're tired, like that baby's crying, or that paper is due, or you know what I mean. If you're not a little bit exhausted, if you're not a little bit strained, then I don't think the soul gets up for it. Your soul should feel stimulated. You should feel a little bit like you are pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. So if you were to ask me, I just thought of this right now, to me, if this is your comfort zone, let's just say this is your comfort zone right here. Happiness is a little bit past your comfort zone. That's what I think it is. That's when you're alive. That's when you feel most alive, and that's when you're most happy. But I want you to recognize it. I always have a saying that people are happy and don't even know it. Like, are you happy and don't even know it? You know what I'm saying? People complain about that person's snoring, but then when they don't have them anymore, they miss it. Like, don't miss out on your life because you think something better is going to come, because what ends up happening is that your life ends and you missed it all because you were looking for happiness when you were already happy. I really hope this video helps someone. Thank you so much for watching, darling. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.